Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the show. It's episode 338. It's October 10th, 2022, and I'm joined by 149-pound, three-time All-American. He's an Ohio State Buckeye, Sammy Sasso. Sammy, welcome today. Thanks for joining us, man. How's everything in Buckeye Nation?
Yo, what's up, Bader? How you doing? Thanks for having me on. And things are good in Columbus. Gorgeous weather today.
Absolutely. I love coming out there every time. Every time I get a chance, it's always a fun time to visit you guys. So I guess today's officially the first day of practice. The official practice season has started. Preseason, I don't know. I assume different teams do preseasons different way, but there's time to train as a team in September, October. I don't know the exact dates, but you just finished up last week probably. What does an Ohio State preseason look like in 2022?
It was tough. We only wrestled 3 times a week. We were wrestling Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday we were lifting, and then Monday and Friday morning we were doing some sort of run or a bike.
Okay. Out of all the things you did in preseason, what's either your maybe not your least favorite, but what was the most physically grueling or mentally?
Um, just going long goes in the room, like a 20-minute go with Karsla. He's tough and he's heavy too, so you gotta spend the energy to score points. And yeah, it's just tough. You just gotta keep pushing through though.
Okay. You're going long goes with Carson Karchla. How's that go? Because he's a decent amount bigger than you, right?
Yeah, Carson. He gets the better of me, going percentage wise, but he's just a good guy to have in the room. Like he's slick. Uh, he's gonna fight you for everything. So just having him in the room, I know he's a little bit heavy, but he's got a great flow too. So when I can drill with him and spar with him, but then when it's time to go live, he's gonna bring the hips.
Sure. You gotta bring the hips. All right.
He's heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. And heavy hips are good. It's a good feel to have. As far as like, so you do lifting and the running and then the wrestling 3 days a week. And you mentioned, right, we'll drill spar and then we'll go live. Like, what's your favorite type? If you're just going to go in the room and go with somebody, whether it's structured or not, what's your favorite type of training, whether it is drilling or sparring or live or like the spectrum of anywhere in between?
Yeah. Definitely. I love sparring and play wrestling. In my high school, we were big on that. My coach Dave Kroll, he was he was real big on that. So we did that a lot. And then for the live wrestling, I would say matches are my favorite. Because that's that simulation. When you hear the coach say, "We're going matches," it's go time. You're keeping score, and you want to get a partner in the room that's going to push you, and that you're going to have to work hard to go get a win. And even though it's practice, you still you treat it like it's real.
For sure. To the sparring and play wrestling, right? And I think it's really important, and it's not something that was really done much or emphasized when I was in school, and I don't definitely not before. Maybe some people on their own, but not like you hear about it a lot now. And you guys were doing it in high school, which I think is probably one of the reasons you came into college so ready is because you were at that kind of higher level. When did you maybe learn how to spar and play wrestle? Because it's not an easy concept when you're younger. You just want to wrestle and win or drill and let you not fall over, right? But where'd you learn how to kind of do that in between?
Yeah. So like you said it, when you're a kid, sometimes you're eager, you wanna wrestle. Like live's your favorite part of practice, and you got a lot of energy when you're younger. So sometimes the drilling can get boring. And I think when I was younger, I definitely was like getting creative in the drills just because you get a little bored drilling the same thing over and over again. So then, you start sitting in the corner, locking in the crotch when the guy's shooting a high crotch, just giving them different feels. And then when I started practicing with the high school team, my 8th grade year, that's when Coach Cole, he was doing the sparring a lot and the play wrestling. So that's when I really got a hand for it.
Sure, but you were almost doing it on your own before it was taught to you because of you could say boredom. Maybe that's the word. Just wanting more. But you were kind of
Yeah,
sparring before high school,
yeah,
before it was really taught to you.
kind of. Just because like, although you want the shot to be perfect, and you take a high crotch, head up, chest up, back straight, drive through, cut double. That's what you want it to look like every time. But in the back of your head, even as a little kid, that's not how it's gonna go.
Right.
People are gonna fight. They're gonna do whatever they can to not get taken down. So you have to implement that into your drill a little bit, and you know, be a good partner and make your boy feel that.
Yeah. And to the point where you said, yeah, maybe sometimes I would sit the corner and lock their crotch. This is like classic Sasso, right? Like this is where you're really good. And that's not traditional either. Although maybe in Nazareth, a wrestling rich community, that is more traditional than I would think. Like when did you start to learn some of these outside the box or less traditional moves that are, even in today in college are a staple?
Yeah, when I started wrestling, my elementary coach, he was like all basics. So that's kind of what I stuck to and what I did. But when I was getting to better guys, they were hanging on to my leg and just bellying out, and I'm trying to get around, and I can't score, and I'm just like keep getting stalemates here when a guy's hanging on to my leg and I can't break his lock. So then I kind of just started hitting that cradle there, where if he bellied out, I kind of put my head in the side, had my hand on the chin, and started locking up that cradle. And then kids just they were just hanging on to my leg for however long, and then I would just slap that cradle on. And I started doing that about 5th, 6th grade. And that's when I started to find my own style and get into my groove and, build more confidence. So definitely when I was like, yeah, 5th, 6th grade, I started hitting that cradle. And then it just kind of started evolving from there.
So like your coach in youth was real basic, but the guys just hanging out and sitting, and you start locking up a cradle. Was it something that one day you just like? Did you see it once somewhere when you were watching a high school or older, or did somebody actually teach it to you, or did you just like, oh look at this head knee and go?
Yeah. No, it's basically like overthinking it. And, I had just lost enough matches in this position, 2-1 or 2-0. And there was one time where there was like 30 seconds left, and I knew I needed to score. And it was just like, you got to find a way to get this done. And he just kept hanging on to my leg because he didn't want to give up the go behind. But his head kind of just walked right to his knee. And then my mom or dad like videotaped it on like one of those handheld
Yeah.
recorders, and I just rewatched it, and I was like, that's pretty good. You can start doing this against these guys that are stronger than you, and you can't break the lock on the leg.
So that was the first time you did it. It was because you just try anything at the last second and it worked.
Yeah, yeah. Needed to score in the third.
That's wild because
Yeah,
it's a popular technique these days and one that you're clearly good at.
yeah,
What did you think?
yeah,
Do you remember? You remember like I don't know, maybe I don't know, if it was a DVD or a tape or something, but popping it in and watching it, and when you watched that video, you're like, oh, that's what I did, or did you know what you had done?
yeah. I had known what I had done, but I wanted to see it back. And then maybe like a year and a half later, my dad got a Flow account. And then he found a series with Ben Askren and Max Askren. And he started watching that, and he was like, this is going to be good for you. You can do a lot of these moves. So me and him kind of started watching that. And my dad never wrestled before, but he was, he's still a student of the sport, and he watches Flow like that. So he knew that would work for me, the cradle stuff and, kind of that funky stuff that Ashton was doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a cool genesis to how you started hitting this. Um, to your dad, right? You said he never wrestled, but he like presented you with this well flow and his techniques. How involved was he from a youth level or high school or even today? Because you said he's a student of the sport and he's still maybe looking at techniques, trying to like. Does he still show you anything
Yeah,
or point you in a direction?
that's my dad. Yeah, right. You don't need to. You didn't have to wrestle to, you know, watch certain things and watch tendencies. So my dad's good at that, and he knew how bad I wanted it when I was younger. So he stayed on me, and although he didn't teach me many moves, he was a good motivator, and he was a good football coach too. So he knew how to make me work hard and get on me when I needed it, and so he's definitely helped me a lot. And just he's been watching me my whole life. So when things are happening out on the mat, he picks them up pretty easy.
Sure. Okay. Kind of back to the season a little bit, right? We just finished preseason, and again, you can only speak for I asked it, but what is season or even like the October month of October? Because I'm sure you're training differently in February and everything else. But what does like October look like? It's still kind of preseason because you're not training, but because you're not competing, but you can be in there every day. Yeah, I don't know what a practice is going to look like for the next month.
Yeah, so we'll practice 6 times a week, Monday through Saturday, and then our mornings are pretty much open for this month of October, and you can just link up with a coach and grab a partner, set your time in the morning, and then you're gonna come in and work with one of the coaches on something that you need, and Stever and Jaggers, they're always there. So even if I don't text them and I show up at 9 o'clock, I know they're going to be hanging out, sitting on the mat, helping somebody, or just chilling or eating breakfast, whatever. I know they're going to be there to help me. So, that's always convenient because they spend a lot of time there.
I would spend a lot of time there too. That's like, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know if you guys. I remember Tom Ryan saying when you had that old place. What was the name of the Steelwood? Is that right?
Steelwood. Yeah.
Steelwood. You
Yeah.
shared it with like gymnastics and maybe something else. And he was like, yeah, the
Yeah.
size of the
Fencing.
room, the room, this room being small kind of sucks. But he's like, the thing I don't like is that we don't have a place to just hang. The guys want to come early or stay late. There's no like common area where they can just chill. Do you guys get to spend, do you finish class and just come hang in the locker room or just show up like you said at whenever random times and just hang out? Cavelli Center?
Yeah, they're definitely. There's always going to be someone there. Uh, it's rare that you show up and one of your teammates isn't there working out or getting something done. So yeah, a bunch of guys will come early. They'll be in the training room, but kids need rides, so they just come with whenever they can get there. They get there 45 minutes early, and then we all just talk and just team bond and type deal. And it's nice. You can sit on the couch and relax before practice.
Yeah. You guys ever get in there? I've seen you play like handball. Some teams do spike ball. Some like, do you guys have like a go-to where you guys hit it up before practice?
Yeah, handball is the go-to, and yeah, it's intense. Yeah, my team usually wins, so they always get mad at me because my team's usually winning.
Come on now, you're just saying that.
Nah, nah, yeah, we've been running like the same teams for the past couple weeks because uh, Coach Tom Ryan was on our team, so we kept winning. So he's like, same team, same teams, and so yeah, we just been running the same team. So it's been getting chippy for sure past couple weeks.
Who's on your team besides who? How many on a team and who's? Tell me your team.
Yeah, it's about 7 on a team, and then it's me, Decatur, um, Coach Ryan, Orndorff, Tate Orndorff, Uzakis, And we got one more. This kid Braxton Apello. He's a freshman who just got here.
You
So yeah, solid team.
you guys don't win because you get the lead, and then Coach Ryan blows the whistle and says time, do you? Because that was a trick my coach used
Nah,
to do, where
nah,
he'd be
nah,
like,
nah. Nah, we play strict clock, 7 minutes.
7 minute game or half?
7 minute game,
seven
yeah.
minute game. And
Nah, 7 minute game. And then you play 2 games.
2 out of 3,
So
basically.
yeah, so there's 4 teams. Nah, 4 teams. And
Oh, round
you play
robin.
on 2 courts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So winner plays winner, loser plays loser.
Oh, semis and finals. Got it. First
Yeah,
place
yeah,
match,
yeah.
third place
Yep.
match. All right. All
Yep.
right. Okay. I have to see the team standings here at the end of the year. See if you guys are still out in front. Um, so as far as like the season coming up, I know Michigan State Open is on your schedule. Maybe some guys, maybe all of them go. Are you going to compete at the Michigan State Open, or do you know when your first competition will be for you specifically?
Yeah, I'll be competing at the Michigan State Open. And so we got wrestle off the 27th of this month. And then we got the Michigan State Open after that.
Okay. And this is your fourth, or is this your fifth year of college, fourth year of varsity? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, 4th year varsity, 5th year college.
Yeah. So how is the adjustment? I don't know. I'm thinking about when people come in, you're like coming in as a freshman, going through preseason and getting into where you are now, right? How did you feel? I'm sure even if preseason was as hard or harder this year, it's probably easier like to handle. A freshman coming in and doing all that work might be a little overwhelmed. How did you feel at the end of preseason as a freshman? Where you were and just I guess how it was the adjustment to college life and another level compared to probably today.
Yeah. So when I was a freshman, I was still getting beat by McKenna and Stever at the time. So in the room, I got guys that are beating me, and then I had Michael Jordan, and we would go at it, me and him. But I just had some guys in the room that were better than me. So I was in a different position. You're fighting to get those guys, and now I got guys like Mendez, Buzakis, trying to get me, and I gotta stay on them and put the beat down on them. And but it's good. It reminds me of when I was going through that, and some of the struggles that I had because you wrestling Steve or McKenna. And when I got there in the summer, they were both training for final legs, so they weren't really wrestling each other. So I just got thrown into the wolves, and I was going with Steve and McKenna, and it was tough, but I learned a lot from that. So, and it's still fresh in my memory. So it's easy to, try to help Mendez, Buzakis, and these incoming guys and in some of the positions they might be
Yeah.
struggling with.
You got Steber and McKenna were getting ready to wrestle each other, and they're your weight, so you're their partner. What an awful experience and probably awesome experience at the same time, because maybe you're getting the crap kicked out of you, but like you're wrestling with at that point they were 1 and 2 because that's 1 and 2 wrestle at Final X. What do you remember
Yeah.
the struggles and what do you remember like the benefits about that, or was it hard to see the benefits at the time? Maybe because maybe you're getting your ass kicked every day.
No, yeah, you're definitely getting smoked, right? But you got to keep making everything hard. So like once you start giving stuff up easy, you're just like falling further away from the takedown. But you make everything hard, everything's tough, and then you might catch them slipping one time, and you made everything. You didn't give up no easy takedowns, and then you catch them slipping on a scramble, and you finally get a takedown of your own, and then you start building confidence off of that, and you're giving up less points and things like that, and you're stealing takedowns here and there, but you got to keep fighting for it, and that's definitely what I remember was just kept pushing and pushing and fighting, and then eventually, a few weeks go by, a few months go by, and then you're where you want to be. You're competitive in a lot of spots, and you're better in hand fight now. You're better in the leg defense. You get into your attacks. So um, yeah, it was tough in the moment, but it teaches you so much.
Yeah. Do you remember any advice you took from maybe Stieber or McKenna? And are you like in that role now where maybe you're giving Buzakis, Mendez, whoever, some of these guys advice, whether it's advice on technical advice or like, hey, I know I beat the crap out of you today, but keep your head up, kind of thing.
Yeah, you can beat somebody up and still get really tired.
Yeah.
Like, and then you can beat somebody up, but they didn't make it hard, so you didn't have to spend as much energy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, when someone fought you as hard as they can with everything they got. So as long as you're doing that, if someone's that much better than you or weighs this much more than you, you might not get them. You might not be beating them at that point. But what really matters is how much work you're putting in and the effort that you're giving to go get a takedown on your own and not give up the takedown or not go to your back.
You like the effort these young guys are putting in? I mean, you guys took in this. You mentioned two of the guys and Feldman and others. Like one of the top recruiting classes. I mean, and who knows how long. How are these guys coming along?
Yeah, they're adapting real well, and they all get along, and they just fit in good with the team, and they just also brought a good energy into the room. When you got young guys coming in that are hungry and are fighting you tooth and nail, as upperclassmen, I'm gonna naturally kick up and just I don't want to be outworked by these young guys. I'm not going to let them come into here and outwork me. So I'm trying to, put it on them and just keep working hard. And, but it's good to have them in. Mendez, he always chirping at me. Feldman, he tries to chirp at me. He's not too good at trash talking, but he's a good kid. And, Geog, Shoemate, all these guys, they mean well and they're just good kids. So, we're on the right path in Columbus.
Yeah. Feldman tries to chirp, but he's not good at trash talking. He's like just a really nice young man, and I can't see him like he's gonna have to sharpen that trash talking axe a little bit probably. I'm sure he's
too nice.
He'll club you to death probably, but yeah, the trash talking community.
Yeah.
He's a step up. All right, cool. Okay, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, three-time All-American, and you're a runner-up. Nico, I'm going to pull up this video. You're a runner-up in 2021. First, I want to ask, and I want to watch this NCAA final. Like, we have about a 2-minute highlight, and it's the scoring highlights. But tell me about wrestling in 2021 with but practically no fans, very limited, and what that was like. This giant arena, it's on TV, but maybe and the gravity of it, but the atmosphere is not there. And I guess before that, have you been to the NCAAs as a spectator prior to? Because the year before it was canceled, right? And the year before you were a redshirt, I think. So had you gone and visited or attended the NCAAs prior to wrestling at it?
Yeah, so I went one time when I was in high school when it was at Madison Square Garden. And then I went my redshirt year because it was in Pittsburgh. Right. So it wasn't bad driving from Columbus. And a couple of us freshmen drove down. And then, like you said, got canceled 2020. But, competing here, you almost forget that there's no fans. Because at this point, that was the norm. So, I wrestled enough to where it wasn't weird anymore. And it was just what it was.
I guess I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, your Big Ten. There was only Big Tens. There was no probably any duels, and life was weird. Life was freaking weird for 2 years, man. It was so weird that it was normal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna let this roll. So it was a 0-0 first period. Nico, whenever you're ready, and this is the start of the second. You can kind of talk us through this, or we can watch it, or tell us anything you might be thinking.
Yeah. So I think I wrote him out for a little bit, and then he did a good job sealing off there and getting that. Um,
Oh yeah, you had a minute already.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
this is the start of the third.
yeah, I was out quick, and that almost hurt me there, getting out with the riding time because I tried to hold on to the lead, and
Yeah,
wrestling defensive when I should have stayed on my offense. And then
sure.
here's a tough position, just didn't know where to go with it.
Yeah.
I tried, yeah.
You tried what?
Um, we'll let this play. Yeah, and then yeah, you gotta finish clean.
I'm surprised that you're able to pull yourself back up. It looked like you were too extended.
Yeah, we can I can talk about that in a bit.
Sure.
And then yeah, tough spot there.
Obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
but what?
Go ahead.
So yeah, that position I was in, um, and I think right here, I think I should have just stuck with the foot. I kind of tried to build up because I didn't have his knee collected,
Uh huh.
but he was on his butt. I think if I would have just planted the foot on the mat and held it there, I could have got it. But I start to build up right here, and he sits that corner on me
Yeah.
and gets his knee on the outside of my elbow, which was a nice move. Um, so yeah, you just gotta finish clean, especially in crunch time. Can't leave it up in the ref's hands.
Sure.
But
Um.
yeah, that shot that I took, like you said, I was real extended. It wasn't even the best shot, but I learned that from Bobby Weaver back in the day. Bowing my back and pulling the leg in. So advice to future guys in the finals. You're up on 1 point right in time. Stick to what works. Stick to your offense, and you keep shooting and doing what was working to get you that lead.
Sure. Have you watched this once, multiple times? Some guys maybe every, I don't know if you watch it every day, but some guys obsess over that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
no, yeah, I watched it plenty of times, but things like that you gotta put behind you because you gotta grow as a person, and everything happened for a reason. So you gotta just keep on keeping on, right?
Absolutely. Um, yeah, so now looking in the past now and now looking forward, the All-Star Duel, right? The NWCA All-Star Duel, November 22nd, right here, actually in this building here in Austin. You're wrestling, no pun intended, Austin Gomez. First of all, what do did you watch the All-Star growing up? Do you remember it when you were younger? It obviously hasn't it went away for a few years, but it was a really big deal, when I was in school and even prior. But do you remember this from recent years or years in the past?
Yeah, I definitely remember hearing about it and just like seeing results and stuff. I don't never recall watching it live, but I knew it was a big thing. Get invited to that. It's a cool honor.
Yeah. Why did you want to do it? Because some guys might say, "Hey, it's
Um,
too early and an extra match and no thanks."
yeah, no. I always want to compete, and I just enjoy wrestling. So if I got opportunity to go scrap, I'm gonna do it. And then I get a guy that beat me twice last year. So of course I'm gonna come wrestle.
Even just watching that Austin O'Connor match with you, I can tell you think you were you wanted to say something a couple times. I could tell you had broken down these positions and looked at it and thought about it. What are your thoughts on past matches with Gomez and maybe where the difference was?
Yeah, just thinking too much. Overthinking in wrestling, that'll kill you. And just like worrying about what someone else is going to do, that's not going to bring out the best version of you. That's not going to bring out your best wrestling. So I think that's what I was doing, not just in the Gomez match, but at the end of towards the end of the season last year. Just overthinking stuff and not wrestling free like I know how to. So that's just what I want to do. I'm excited to compete for the season, but just letting it be free and letting it fly and doing what I do best.
And when you say overthinking, is this like, okay, I'm gonna wrestle this guy and overthinking it then? Or is it like whistle blows and you're thinking too much like in those 7 minutes?
No, not that. Just like second guessing on a shot or just a move, wondering if it'll work. You ain't got no time to wonder if it's gonna work. If you're gonna do something, you gotta sling it 100%. And if it don't work, it don't work. Recover and then go to the next thing. And if that don't work, you recover. And you keep stringing things together. It's not just gonna be one move's gonna get it done, especially against the best guys. So I think I've definitely done a better job of that this offseason, just putting things together, one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and creating scrambles with guys, putting them in positions where I'm best.
Is there like an element of like watch those matches with Gomez and pick out areas that made the difference in the match, or is it more the mentality or what you said, like overthinking it or second guessing myself?
Yeah, yeah, I know enough moves. I'm never gonna lose because I didn't know a move or one position lost me the match. I'm gonna lose because I didn't do enough. I didn't create enough positions. If I lose two positions, then get into five more, and I'm confident I'm gonna come out winning 4 out of 5 of those. But that's just what has to be done, not leaving it up to one, two, three positions.
Yeah. And we mentioned Gomez, obviously 149 as of right now. It's Yanni, the top dog. He's trying to win his fourth title, and I'm sure your like plan is like derail that, and maybe you're not trying to make history by stopping it, but you got to stop him to get what you want. Is that something you've thought about? Maybe stopping history is part of it, or maybe it's just your path.
Yeah, Yanni's tough. He's good at wrestling, and he's beaten me a good amount of times right now. But I'm still confident. I never wrestled him and thought I was going to lose. Um, so I just got to stay on the course that I am, pick up a little bit when it's time, and then execute and wrestle my match and go out and perform.
Yeah.
And just traveling a little bit this summer and practicing with certain people, definitely just boosted my confidence a little bit. And so I know I'm doing the right things, and I got Steve with me, I got Jaggers with me, helping me along the way.
Yeah. And I've shown up at Cavelli and I see Steve in there working with whoever, this guy or that guy, and Jaggers. I know Jaggers is a little older than Steve, but does Logan like still strap it up and throw down, or is he more like just kind of coach from the side?
Oh yeah, he'll put his wrestling shoes on, come and wrestle, and he's still tough.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, getting winding down here a little bit, but the whole fifth year, right? The COVID and this and that. This is your fourth year of eligibility, but there's a free year. Have you given thought to whether or not you'll take it next year, or is that just let this season finish out and then make that decision afterwards?
Um, yeah, I'm probably gonna take it. Um, yeah, I'm probably gonna take it.
Okay, awesome. And then before we close out, we got a little game. Kyle Klingman usually likes to throw a bunch of questions at our guests and give them some curveballs and we call sweat it out because it's 5 questions trying to make you sweat. These were written by Klingman, but I got the list here. I'm gonna put on my spectacles to help me read them. But are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. What former Ohio State head football coach was a three-time? What former interim Ohio State head football coach was a three-time state champion wrestler for St. Francis de Sales High School?
It's the Cincinnati coach. What's his name?
I only have the answer. I don't know where he's from, but I believe you.
I can't think of his name. But I want to say it's the Cincinnati coach.
It's Luke Fickle.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, he coaches football at University of Cincinnati. Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, what famous escape artist and magician was born in Budapest, Hungary, and died in Detroit, Michigan?
You Knievel?
Harry Houdini, but I'm not sure why that
Harry
question
Houdini.
fits.
Yeah,
He threw some oddballs in there. I get a couple of the next ones. So, what famous Ohio State?
that was a wild one.
He just pulled that one out of nowhere. What Ohio State wrestler defeated Steve Mocco in the 2002 NCAA tournament finals?
Tommy Rollins.
There we go. We're on the winning track now.
Oh,
What famous IndyCar driver immigrated from Italy to Nazareth, Pennsylvania? IndyCar driver came to Nazareth, Pennsylvania from Italy. Famous guy.
Andretti.
All right, there we go. We're on a roll. And number 5, name the actor who was a Jedi Knight in the Star Wars prequel and was a hired assassin in the movie Pulp Fiction.
You
got this one.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Boom. All right, slow start. You got taken down in the first, but you got a takedown, escape, and reversal, and you won by the end, man.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's gonna kind of take us to the end and wrap things up. But I'm gonna give you the last word, kind of let you say, plug yourself, talk about whatever you want to talk about, shout out, tell us a joke. You got any good jokes?
Yeah. Nah, no good jokes. Just thankful for my folks, my parents, my family, my team here at Ohio State, all my coaches. So I'm excited for this season with the Buckeyes. We got a lot of good incoming freshmen, and we didn't lose anybody last year. So a little bit of a down year last year. So I'm just excited for the season. It's going to be exciting.
All right. Well, awesome, Sammy. Thanks for joining us. Super excited for your season, and of course, coming down here on November 22nd for the All-Star, and keep beating up those freshmen, but keep making them work.
Yep, of course.
All right. Thanks, man.
Vader.
Yep. Have a great day. We'll see you.
Yep.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for today's show. Had a joy talking with Sammy Sasso, and we will be back tomorrow with Nate Carr Jr. So thanks for seeing you. Thanks for jumping in. See you next time.